Welcome to Lobster's list for July 3rd, 2012. Number 1. Detective Grimoire for iOS and Android is a mystery adventure game from Super Flash Brothers and Armored Games. The presentation looks very well done, and it has voice actors from games and YouTube channels you may recognize. Search for clues, interrogate people, and complete puzzles in a murder case where a mythical creature of the swamp may be involved. Backers at $4 and up will receive a copy of the game with a $10 pledge including the digital soundtrack, $25 for a physical CD of the soundtrack, and $50 for 2 t-shirts selected from a pool of 16 designs. International shipping of physical rewards is extra if outside the US or UK. Number 2. Jetpack 2 is the sequel to Jetpack by the game's original creator. With the first Jetpack, I spent hours in the level editor, and the trackbot enemies were menacing when I was young. The major addition to the game is the new physics simulation, and there will be also an online level repository. It is targeting PC, Mac, and Linux. There's a $15 pre-order tier, which includes a Kickstarter badge on your account for the game. Number 3. Kaiju Combat is a fighting game with giant monsters inspired by the Japanese monster movies like Gojira. Since the game has not yet been made, some of this footage is from previous games the project creator has worked on. It is targeting PC with stretch goals including a console release. How this is handling its stretch goals is also different from other projects, in that the backers will decide which order the goals will be in. One example is if the backers will decide if obtaining a license to use Godzilla is more important than a live-action intro cinematic. A $5 pledge provides access to the design community, while $20 also includes a copy of the game. Number 4. DIVEKICK is an unusual fighting game with no guard moves, no moving of your character with a joystick or even a D-pad, and you must rely on only 2 buttons. Those buttons are for jumping and kicking. There's a meter determining how high you can jump and how fast you can kick. This game looks like a parody of the fighting game scenario where 2 players would both pick Chun-Li in Street Fighter II Turbo and just continuously jump around in the air spamming that light kick until someone managed to land a hit. There's a PC pre-order at $10. Number 5. Super Dungeon 64 is an online side-scrolling 2.5D RPG made by just one person. The project creator wants to have persistent worlds on player-operated servers with player versus player combat being a major focus. A hardcore mode means that upon a character's death, the player will have to make a new character. It is seeking just $15,000 and funds will go towards chiptune music, hiring an additional programmer, and to free up more time for the creator to continue to work on the game. At the $15 level, you will have your name listed in the credits and a copy of the game for PC and potentially more platforms. Now on to honorable mentions. I'm Not a Hero is a 2D action platformer. The game lets you play a character whose father was a villain killed by a group of heroes. The player will be able to cause chaos in cities and fight off heroes. A $15 pledge reward has a copy of the game for PC or Mac, thanks in the credits, a minigame, and a desktop wallpaper. Draw Stickman Epic is a project from the creator of a Webby Award-winning DrawStickman.com. Explore a world with a hero you have drawn and draw with pencils to cause specific effects. You can pre-order a copy for iOS or Android for $10 with your name in the credits and a login to a website with development updates. Dragon Siege is an arcade game made in Unity where you fly around shooting structures with cannons. It is targeting PC, Mac, mobile devices, and web browsers. There's a reward of a mobile copy of the game at the $10 pledge level and a browser-based version. Great Fire of London is a board game from Pandasaurus where players must destroy houses to create fire breaks during a rampaging fire to save as much of the city as possible. There's a rule book to download out now. This campaign seeks to bring the game to the US for the first time and is already launched in Europe where the creators were not satisfied with the manufacturing quality of that version. The project creator has previously had a successful Kickstarter for another game. You can pledge $60 for a copy of the game, with non-US backers needing to raise their pledges to cover shipping. OpenROV is an open source robotic submersible that has already met its initial funding goal. The 2.5 kilogram remotely operated vehicle has dimensions of 30 by 20 by 15 centimeters and is designed for 100 meter depths, with a working unit already tested to 10 meters. There is an incomplete kit at $220 with the laser cut parts, while a $775 tier is for the complete kit with all the electronics and the tether. Backers outside the US will need to cover extra shipping. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps those projects.